This is the Black Nation of Israel. I'll be I'll be reading a article from this website called the Black Child. It says blackchildlegacy.org. Blackchildlegacy.org. It's a campaign and it's an organization that is dedicated to reducing black child abuse, black children of abuse, and black child neglect homicide. Okay, I'm going to start reading the article. It says 61% of the perpetrators of African American victims of child abuse and neglect homicides were the biological parents. This includes the mother or the father acting alone, or both parents acting together. Okay, I'm gonna hold up right there. I'm gonna stop right there. And to you single black women, you can't blame this on the father. You can't blame child neglect or child abuse on the father. This article says this right here. It says both parents. It says victims of child abuse and neglect homicides were the biological parents, plural. This includes the mother or the father acting alone, or both parents acting together. And it goes on to say, disproportionately high numbers of African American children die from abuse or neglect. Disproportionately high numbers of African American children die from abuse or neglect. High numbers. And it goes on to say child mistreatment in the report of 2014. That was just 6 years ago. And you know this is still going on now. Okay, it says child mistreatment report of 2014. It says reports that African American children die from child abuse or neglect at a rate that is 2.5 times greater than that of white or Hispanic children. You see, 2.5 times greater than that of white or Hispanic children. So black children in America are dying at a alarming high rate than most white or Hispanic children by the biological black parents. You know, this is bad news here, you know. See, black men and women, you don't realize you have the holy ones of Israel. You are bearing the holy ones of Israel, you see. And to you single women who have the independent mentality, but you have all these kids. I'm not talking about the righteous women who love the children. You know, I'm talking about the worldly, unrighteous, single black women with the independent mentality, with the feminist mentality. You don't realize that you're going to be held accountable on the mistreatment of your children, with the child neglect, and the child abuse. And this article say child neglect homicide. That means child neglect homicide, that's murder, you see. And you know, it wouldn't be saying that for nothing. And see, when black children die from biological parents, it don't even hit the news like the other races do, because they don't really, this world, the world leaders and the people who control the world, they don't care nothing about the plight of black children. You see, this is why it's not hitting the news. But anytime but when white children die, it hits the news. And to the men, to the black men, you don't realize that your children are the holy ones of Israel, the true seed of Jacob. To the men who mistreat the children, you don't realize that you have the holy ones of Israel who you done produced. And what you need to do is stop having the thug mentality, and don't raise your sons in a thug mentality. You see, and raise your son up in the admonition of the Lord, the Heavenly Father, and Christ, his son, the Messiah, the black Messiah. And to you single women, to you single black women, I seen this the other day. Stop walking out in public, leaving your children 10 feet behind you. I seen this at a 7-Eleven 2 days ago as I was in 7-Eleven. It was 3 black women that was in 7-Eleven, and they had a little boy with them. And they purchased everything, and then they told the little boy to go and get some items. And they purchased the items, and then they began to walk out the door. None of those 3 black women did not have the little boy beside them, or didn't even hold the little boy in their hands as they was walking out the door. He was 10 feet in back of them, and they was out at the front door, opening up the front door to walk out, and he's still back by the register. Yeah, and they yelled at him and tell him to hurry up. See, this is the type of behavior that the Heavenly Father do not like. He looks at this. The other races of people don't leave their children behind, 10 feet behind them. But I see it happening with the single black women. You see. I don't see Hispanic women leaving their children behind. Now I'm not saying that that they are our people. But I'm just saying that at least they have enough sense to take care, to make sure that their child is in safety. They care about the safety of their children. Even the African, the African and the nation, the black African nations who come over here in America, they don't leave their children behind, 10 feet behind them as they walking out the door or in public as they carrying on about their day. And they don't never yell at their children. Only the Negro of slave descent would do this. Before I end the video, to you black single women in the hood, and to the men who is with them, children is our future. And children is a gift from the Heavenly Father. If you abuse or neglect the children that the Heavenly Father gave you, you will be held accountable for it. It's recorded in the scriptures. It says, if you harm one of these little ones, and I hear people say all the time, the little ones is the nation of Israel, like the adults. It's twofold. It's talking about the Israelites, and it's talking about literally the children. It's talking about Israel, and it's talking about the children also. Literally, it's talking about the children. It's twofold meaning, you see. It says, if you harm one of these little ones, it is better for you that a millstone to be hung around your neck and you cast into the sea with that millstone than to harm one of these little ones. And because their angels behold the face of the Heavenly Father. In other words, what it's saying is that their angels are more closer to the Heavenly Father than any adults, than grown people are. And these are the words of the Messiah, Christ, the Black Messiah, who came from the line of the tribe of Judah. Okay, until next time, peace.